Okay, so let's dive into a really chilling one today. June 1965, Houston, Texas.
Right.
What starts as just a standard welfare check
Yeah.
turns into something, well, something truly horrifying. We're talking about the Icebox Murders.
It's a case that, even decades later, just sticks with you. The details are incredibly grim.
Absolutely. So you've got this quiet suburban street, 1815 Driscoll Street.
Yeah.
An elderly couple, Fred and Edwina Rogers.
Seemingly normal from the outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then a relative gets worried, hasn't heard from them in days, calls the police.
And that's the moment everything changes. Police have to force their way in. The house is locked up tight.
And what they find inside, I mean, it's the stuff of nightmares. In the kitchen refrigerator,
Yeah, this is the part that's just unbelievable.
they find human remains, dismembered body parts, legs, arms, a torso stuffed in there,
Yeah.
hidden under, like, regular wrapped meat.
And the heads. Fred and Edwina's severed heads were in the vegetable crisper bin.
It's just stomach churning.
Okay.
But here's a detail that makes it even weirder, if that's possible.
The condition of the house itself.
Yes, it was spotless, immaculate. There were apparently no signs of a struggle, hardly any blood visible.
Which is deeply unsettling, isn't it?
Yeah,
How do you commit such violence and leave almost no trace? It suggests a level of planning or maybe detachment that's frankly terrifying.
it really does. Like, was it cleaned meticulously? Did it happen somewhere else? So many questions right off the bat.
And the immediate focus naturally turns to who else lived there.
Right. Their adult son, Charles Rogers. He also lived in the house, but now he's gone. Vanished.
And his room adds another layer of strange.
Uh-huh. Police check it out, and it's described as eerily neat, almost sterile. No personal effects out, everything packed away, like he wasn't really living there, you know?
Almost like a temporary stop or someone preparing to leave everything behind. It's not normal.
Yeah, not at all. Then they check the attic.
And find the key piece of physical evidence.
Bingo. A bloody saw. Hidden. Tucked away carefully.
Okay, so that connects someone in the house directly to the dismemberment. And with Charles missing.
The implication is pretty clear, isn't it? He flees the scene, leaving this one damning piece of evidence behind, maybe thinking it wouldn't be found.
Or maybe hidden in haste. But the fact remains, he's gone. No note, no calls, just poof, into thin air.
So who was this guy, Charles Rogers? The picture that emerges is, well, it's complicated.
Definitely full of contradictions.
He was highly intelligent, apparently.
Uh-huh.
A Navy veteran, supposedly fluent in like 7 languages.
Wow.
And he had a serious career at one point as seismologist for Shell Oil. That requires brains.
Absolutely. Analytical mind, scientific background.
But then there's the other side.
Damn.
He was incredibly reclusive, lived almost entirely in his room in that house.
And the way he communicated with his parents.
Yeah, sliding notes under the door. Not exactly typical family interaction, is it?
No, not even close. It suggests a profound level of dysfunction or maybe fear or control. Something was deeply wrong in that house.
People who did encounter him apparently described him as paranoid, secretive. It really makes you wonder about his relationship with Fred and Edwina.
There's been a lot of speculation that it was strained, possibly even abusive, though it's hard to know which way that abuse might have flowed or if it was mutual.
Right. Could that kind of long-term toxic environment lead someone to snap so violently?
It's a classic question in cases like this. Was it a sudden psychotic break after years of pressure? Or something more calculated? A planned act of revenge, maybe?
Those were the initial theories, kind of focusing on the family dynamic and Charles's mental state.
Makes sense. But the case went cold. Charles was never found.
And that's when the other theories started popping up, the ones that are a bit more out there.
Yeah, unsolved mysteries tend to attract those, don't they? Especially ones this gruesome. The lack of answers creates a vacuum and speculation rushes in.
And boy, did it ever hear. There was a book in 1992, The Man on the Grassy Knoll.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yep. The authors didn't just think Charles Rogers killed his parents. They claimed he was a CIA operative.
Right.
And not just any operative. One involved in the assassination of JFK.
It's quite a leap. Connecting a brutal, sort of contained domestic homicide to one of the biggest conspiracy theories in American history.
The idea was basically that he used his supposed CIA training and connections to commit the murders, clean the scene, and then just vanish.
Yeah.
Escape the country, maybe to Honduras, start a new life.
Look, it's a compelling narrative in a thriller sort of way. Intelligence agent, secret life, dramatic escape.
But the evidence for it?
Essentially zero. There's no credible link established between Charles Rogers and the CIA or the JFK assassination. It relies entirely on conjecture, fitting him into a pre-existing narrative.
Exactly. No solid proof, no confirmed sightings of him after he disappeared. Nothing official supports it.
But the fact that he did vanish so completely, it leaves that door open for people to wonder, doesn't it? It fuels the speculation.
It really does. So officially, where does that leave us?
The Icebox murders are still classified as unsolved.
Charles Rogers was declared legally dead back in 1975. But crucially, his body has never been found.
No body, no definitive proof of his fate, and no other arrests ever made.
The house itself, 1815 Driscoll Street, isn't there anymore. It was eventually torn down.
But the story lingers, obviously. It's part of Houston's darker history, a really grim local legend.
And it leaves us with these huge, unsettling questions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. What kind of person does this to their parents? How does someone just disappear like that?
Was he hiding successfully all these years? Did he die somewhere anonymously? Was he maybe silenced by someone else, perhaps linked to those wilder theories, unlikely as they seem?
Or the most chilling thought sometimes. Could he have lived out a long life somewhere? Maybe he's still out there.
It's profoundly disturbing to think about.
It really is. The lack of closure is palpable in this case.
You know, these Icebox murders, they're more than just an old unsolved crime file. They feel like a stark reminder.
That horrific things can happen anywhere, behind any door, even in the most ordinary-seeming families or neighborhoods.
Yeah. The darkness can be hidden in plain sight. And as we've picked through the facts and the speculation surrounding this case, it really leaves you, the listener, to wrestle with it.
Beyond the police reports, beyond the conspiracies.
What do you think really happened after the discovery in that fridge? What became of Charles Rogers?